So it doesn't take me very long to find it. Once I shut the video down and I was waiting for it to process, I typed things back into my computer and something went haywire right here in this step for me. So instead of negative 296, it should be negative 1742, which makes the slope 2.668. Negative, of course. Okay, now, what we like about linear regression. Some of you are saying, so why in the world do we care about this line? Which, if we look at a picture now, it looks much nicer than it did before I ended that last video. One thing the reason we use an approximation is so we can make predictions or we can estimate for values that we don't know. For example, if the data that we had, go back to 2 pages here, we know what happens with 2 absences and 5 absences and 10 and 12, but maybe someone has 6 absences or 14 absences. And I say, what happens if someone has 15 absences? What do we predict their grade is going to be for the final? Well, we can use our regression line. We can plug in the 15 for x. And when we push those buttons on our calculator, I just deleted it. It is 57 if we round to the nearest whole number. 57%. The one thing to keep in mind with our regression line, and I kind of cheated to go outside the domain here, we only had values between x equals 0 and x equals 12. Okay. So maybe this would be a good approximation for x equals 11 or 7 or 6 or 1. But if we get too far away, and of course you can't have fewer than 0 absences, but if I said, well, what happens if a student misses 35 times? Okay, that is way outside the scope and the realm of our, let me find a graph here, okay, of our dots. We don't go past 12, so to try to make a prediction clear out here at x equals 35 may not be realistic. Okay. So when your author asks you, predict what the value will be, okay, what the outcome will be if we input a different value of x, we go back to our regression line and we substitute that value in for x. Whatever comes out, we'll round according to whatever it asks us to round to. Okay, but we can only make that prediction if we're allowed to use regression anyway. If we go back to that mess, we had one that was just a blob of numbers. This one here. And we said regression is not an option. This is not anywhere close to a linear relationship. Therefore, I can't write the equation of a line. Therefore, I can't use that equation because it doesn't exist to make predictions for the future or to estimate values at other places. So I want to have a quick conversation about what my expectations are when you're doing these problems on a homework quiz or test. If you're asked to sketch a graph, and I told you that Desmos or any other graphing means is fine, but you need to be able to submit a picture to me. Also, make sure you turn the labels on. I didn't turn the labels on for this, but label those points on your graph. When you are computing your Pearson's little r, what I have written here and cut and paste from my photograph is what I want to see. If you just write r equals negative 9.81, I'm not going to give you full credit for that. Yes, I know there's computer programs out there that will find Pearson's R for you. Some of your calculators might, mine might if I was smart enough to ask it the right question. But part of what you're being assessed on here is can you interpret this formula? I need you to know what this means. I need you to understand that this is asking a different question than that. And that you need to know here on the left side, we're talking about the number 39,526. And here we're squaring the number 482. So if I don't see this step here on your paper, you're not going to get very much credit. Okay, On a 6-point test question, you would get 1 point for the 0.981. So show me what you're plugging in where. You don't have to stop in the middle here if you don't want. You don't have to stop here. I like to do that as a checkpoint, so if I get the wrong answer, I can go back and see what I asked wrong in my calculator. Okay, but show me this step here so I know that you know what numbers go where. And show me what comes out of your calculator when you type that in. And again, feel free to write these intermediate steps if you'd like, but I need to see this, and I need to see that. And that goes for Pearson's R. That goes for your A's and B's. I need to see, because here I had the right expression right here, and I did not get the right number out of it, which means it was user entry error when I went from here to here. Okay, if you just write b equals negative 0.453 and that is not right, and I do not see this on your paper, I have no idea where you went wrong, and you really get no points for that. I can't get partial credit for things I can't see. But if I see that you tried to type the right thing in and got the wrong numbers, then you'll get most of your credit for that, especially if you use those wrong numbers then to answer the question correctly from there. If you have questions or concerns about what I want, please contact me. And Excel spreadsheets are perfectly fine to upload. They need to be labeled in a way that I can keep track of what goes where. Desmos pictures are fine, and can screenshot those, or snipping tool, or whatever your favorite software is to get me that picture. Cut and paste it into a Word document if you need to and upload it there. And let me know if you need help doing any of this. I can help talk you through it during my office hours.